Hello, so welcome to this week's edition of Whispers from Heaven. Now, our title today whisper as the posture of the heart. But then we're going to be looking on the account of Moses to talk on the posture of the heart. Now, Moses was born in a time where instructions were given in Egypt for all the male children of the Israelites to be killed. Reason being because the king that arose at the time in Egypt was threatened by how the Israelites was multiplying in Egypt, and that at the time they were going to take over the country. And because of that, he gave instruction that every male child that is born in Egypt should be killed. And when the Hebrew woman had Moses, the Bible said in King James Version, it said she looked at him that he was a goodly child, and for that she hid him. And when I looked up goodly child in New International Version, it said because he was a special child. Because I was curious, I wanted to know. I said because he was a special child. So because I wanted to know how a mother gave birth and she could tell that this child is a goodly child. And so I dug deeper into it, and it said he was a special child, and for that she hid him. And when she could no longer hide him, she had to take him to the river bank where she knows the king's daughter always go to bathe, and positioned the sister of Moses, so that when she comes, whatever happens, she would suggest for him. And eventually that happened. She suggested and brought the same woman as the caregiver for the child, and with that the child was preserved. He was groomed in Egypt as part of their own, not knowing. She knew it was a Hebrew child, but she took to the child because she of where she found him, and she took care of him until he grew. But you see, the posture of the heart never lies, because as the child grew up, supposedly in the home of an Egyptian, but because of who he is, he came out one day and found the Egyptian trying to fight in the Hebrew and all that, and he couldn't help it. He went to intervene, and in the process killed the Egyptian. And the next day when he tried to go do the same thing, they reminded him of yesterday, not knowing that they saw him. And because of that, out of fear, he fled from Egypt. And so let's talk a little on the posture of the heart. Now, you might not be adequate. See, in this contemporary world today, ordinarily, Moses would have been written off, because of course he killed somebody, he murdered somebody. But no, God still followed him to where he went in the house of Jethro and met him there and still used him. God didn't write him off. You know why? Because it is the posture of the heart that God is looking at, the intent of the heart. We would look on the outward appearance, and what we saw was that he killed, he's a murderer. Just like you will see today, this one is a prostitute. Who is this? Why is she talking God when she had been this, she had been that, and all that? No, God looked past those things. What is the purpose of your path, irrespective of the mistakes that you have done? God is not going to be dwelling on those mistakes. He is looking at why you came to be in the first place. Moses was a special child from birth. So irrespective of the mistake of having to murder somebody that ordinarily we would have written him off, God didn't. God still followed him because of that purpose and met him in the house of Jethro. Now, so when he ran to Jethro, because of still that posture of the heart, when the children of Jethro came, he still helped them out. And that was why they went back and mentioned him to the father. And the father said, oh no, go and invite the young man. And that was how he started living with them. He gave him his daughter for a wife and all that. before he went to take care of the sheep, and God met him, the burning bush and everything. Now, what are we saying this morning? Yes, society may have written you off. Yes, your life may have been ugly. Yes, you may have made bad decisions. You may have lived terribly. But that does not override the purpose of God for you. Sometimes most of the people who lived in this way, they are the ones with the wonderful heart, with the best of hearts. Now, God is after the posture of the heart. That is why after everything David did, God would still call him the man after my heart. Because at every point in time, he still acknowledges God. He said, God, I may have been this, I may have been that, but you are God and I love you. And God sees the sincerity of the heart, and he looked past the fact that he took another man's wife and even killed the man to cover up. God still looked past those things and still called him a man after my heart. It is the posture of the heart. It is not about, who are we? How righteous are we even? The Bible said our righteousness is like a filthy rag. How do you open your mouth and write off another that God has not written off? God is not after all those. You may have made your mistakes. You may have lived ugly. But God is not dwelling on that. What is the purpose that you are created? And so if God is sending you, and so if God is calling you to take up a position, to have a change of heart, why do you concentrate so much on what people are going to say? And you're living beyond the demands, the expectation of God, just because of what people are going to say. He is after the posture of your heart. How much do you love God, irrespective of what your present condition is saying? God still followed Moses and met him at the burning bush and said, I am sending you to go back to Egypt to rescue your people. An enormous task. Even Moses could not believe it. He was like, God, what do I tell them when I get there? He said, tell them I am that I am. But because, he feels so insufficient, so inadequate, God told him, tell them that the God of their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has sent me. And it still looked like, God, this is not going to work. God said, go to the elders first, and the elders will accompany you to Pharaoh. Just, against all odds, go. Even against your inadequacies, go. I am sending you. It doesn't matter whether you are fit for it. It doesn't matter whether you are suitable. But it is you that has been destined to take the children of Israelite out of Egypt. And so I'm sending you. Your past life notwithstanding, go. And you even see when Moses mentioned that, God, I have speech impediment. How do I speak with them? The Bible said that God told him, who gives speech, who make the dumb talk, who makes the deaf to hear. I, the Lord, do it. And so I'm sending you. I know about your speech impediment. I am sending you. Go. I will speak through you. And when as if that was not enough, he said, okay, I'll send your brother to meet you halfway, Aaron, and Aaron will do the talking, and you will be like a god to him. By all means, Moses, I'm sending you. By all means, Moses, it is you I choose. No matter the excuse you're bringing, no matter how inadequate you feel, no matter how, laid back, no matter how, insufficient you think that you are, it is you that I've chosen, and I'm sending you. That our God can be that, he specializes in using the unfavorable condition to carry out his work. He doesn't have to wait for the condition to be favorable. No, he doesn't have to wait for the suitable time, for the right. Who is even the right person? So if God is sending you, if he is calling you back from that track you're going, and you're feeling, God, how do I start? I've been an addict. I've been into so many addictions, addiction to drugs, addiction to this. I'm a thief. I'm this and that. God is saying you can have a new start. I'm interested in you. I'm after your heart. I want you to turn around. I want you to have a change. You can begin again. Take off the feeling of insufficiency, of inadequacy. I am choosing you. Go against all odds. Don't let society tell you whether you're right or wrong. Don't let society determine your purpose, whether you carry out the assignment God has laid for you or not. Don't let society tell you whether you are right for it. If God says go, he will meet you halfway, and he will right those wrong when he meets you halfway. But you have to take that move first. Go. God will meet you and he will make it right. He will make it suitable. That's why you see most of the trailblazing, powerful preachers and men of God today are men who have had experiences, people who had gone through terrible lifestyle, as much as stealing, drinking, womanizing, and all sorts. God met them halfway, and the rest is history. That's his specialty. He specializes in doing that. You are not inadequate. You are more than enough. If God says it is you, he will make it right. He will make it right. Don't let anybody talk you out of purpose. Don't let anybody talk you out of God's design for your life. Don't let anybody make you feel you're not worthy enough. Who is he actually worthy? Who? God is the one that makes you worthy for his assignment when he meets you halfway. But you see, you have to take that bold step first. And so despite all the excuses of Moses that he had, probably because he was scared, that place where I've murdered somebody, you're sending me to go back there. Hey God, how will it happen? In fact, God went as far as telling him that all the people who saw him at the time that murder was committed, that they are all dead, and so he should go. So God understands his fears. God understands how he feels. God understands that this guy is feeling incapable of carrying my assignments. And at every point in time, God was addressing the issues one after the other. He said, go take the elders and go. I will walk through you, but go. So that should be a word for somebody today. I don't know who this word is meant for, but God is saying, go. Irrespective of where you're coming from, what you have been through, what you have done, God says, go. I will meet you halfway and I will right the wrong. I will meet you right halfway and I will make it right. I will meet you halfway and I will make you fit for the journey. But go. And so let's take that today. Let's run with it. Run with it. It doesn't matter. Just go. Just take up that position. Just take up that stewardship. Just take up that thing. Just turn. Look around and turn. It is not too late for you to make a turn. You are not. Some of us will feel, wow, we are totally condemned. God, how do where? What will people say? God said, turn around. Turn around. You can start afresh. You can begin anew. I pray God will help us. And for every one of us who had gone far into sin, who had, taken wrong steps in life, made costly mistakes. I pray that this word will bring a burning in your heart that is not over with you yet. It's not over. It's not over. It's not too late for you to turn. It's not too late for you to turn around and begin to make it right. And God will meet you halfway. In Jesus' name, amen. Ciao. Have a good day. Bye.